Hey everybody, this is Camzilla51 back at you with another Transformers video review. I haven't really done a whole lot since Christmas, but that's because I was sick, but I'm feeling a lot better now. And I have a brand new voiceover mic, and I'm using it right now. So, it sounds really good, I think. And today the figure that we have is the Transformers Generations Deluxe Class Thunderwing. And if you know who this guy is, you know that he's a badass. He's the destroyer of worlds, and he is feared by both Autobots and Decepticons alike. He is just totally awesome. This figure is pretty cool, though it's not exactly what we saw in the IDW Stormbringer series. It's still pretty cool. It still evokes the same character. It's all good. He's got some landing gear under here, and for all you G1 fans, he has, take this little part off, a little drone that comes off of the front part of his cockpit. This is supposed to homage when he was a Super Pretender, and this was his shell, but like this was actually his inner robot. And you know, he would be a little jet and transform, and do. And you know, he could combine with his jet mode. But this is non-transformable. This little drone right here, it's just kind of a little, you know, scout drone. Beep beep beep. You know, it's just kind of fun to hang around. But unfortunately, it kind of leaves this little empty. So I didn't really take it out much. But shoot, if you've got an imagination, you can think of all kinds of stuff to do with that. So, that's pretty much all that is. And he's got little wheels here. They roll really well, like I'll demonstrate here. And if you roll him across a good surface, he actually sounds like a jet, you know, with his thrusters. You know, and that's all cool. But if you push down too hard, then these start to kind of want to go in. So, just fold those down, fold this up. He is pretty much, in essence, a robot under a plane. So that's a little unfortunate, but I've kind of gotten around it. Normally, his arms would be like out to the side like this. And he would pretty much, you know, just have arms out here. And they just scream, arms, robot. And it's kind of funny, you know, if you want to bring these out and down. He's flying around. He's going to pick up your puppies. So that's kind of amusing, but you can use that in stop motion, and that's all cool. So to better disguise them, though, I find that it's easier to just rotate around at the bicep, and then they look a lot less like arms. You got this blocky bit, you know, and I think that looks a lot better. So, you can take off these guns here on the sides, but one thing that I really appreciate is that if you notice this little oval shape that's in line with the peg, and the same shape on the bottom of the gun, right there. And that is so that OCD people like me don't have to worry about, you know, getting it exactly straight forward, because now you can line it up here on the back with these two places right here. So you don't have to worry about, oh, is that perfectly straight? No, I think it's a little to the left. No, maybe to the right? Yes? No? Is it straight? You don't have to worry about that anymore, because these little guides help you line them up perfectly straight. And I really appreciate that. I like that they did that. Thanks a lot, Hasbro. That's cool. So, just set those guns off to the side. Here's what it looks like without them, but he doesn't look any less badass. Yeah. So, one last thing before I transform him. These jet boosters are on ball joints like the animated Starscream, and they move up and down and around and stuff. So if you really, you know, are into jets, you can, you know, imagine that, and then push them up, all that cool stuff. So, to get him into his robot mode, his transformation is really simple, almost as much as the first movie Scorponok. Just fold those down, bring these wings out to the side. Now there's a little hook right there that I would presume that this would catch on, to keep it from getting this little gap here, but there isn't a hook. I'm not quite sure why, but I can get around it. Then what you want to do is take this canopy, move that up about halfway, and detach the wings from the back here, and then continue to bring that down. And then you've got the back. Then for the robot, underneath, what you pretty much want to do is move these knees down. And here's what I really like about these legs. They aren't just sliding joints. They actually come from the inside of the chest. And, you know, like unlike Starscream or Astro Train from the Classics line, they're solid. They don't have a sliding joint that, you know, puts the knee somewhere like way up here, you know, and I really think that's cool. For these legs, they're kind of like Jetfire feet, but they're a little bit better because of those ball joints. So fold them out like that, and you can stand them up. So for the arms, just pretty much rotate the bicep, bring them out, and then fold these guns down. The guns up here on his shoulders are soft plastic, so if yours are a little bent, you can just use a hair dryer and mold them back straight. And then for the epic head reveal, yes, there he is in his demonic glory. Yeah. So he looks really cool. I really like the way this guy looks. He's got great articulation too. He's got ball jointed shoulders here, though they're a little bit hindered by these guns, you know, in the back. You know, they can kind of brush by and bend those. So I would just suggest don't keep him posed like that if you want to, you know, keep those straight. But then he's got a bicep swivel, nice elbow articulation. I think it's like that's further than 90 degrees. Good wrist articulation. You know, because these arms aren't part of the transformation all that much, a lot of good articulation is in there. You know, it's not sacrificed to transformation. So his head is on a ball joint, but normally it would just look left and right because of the sculpted neck. But I've gotten around that by, if you look back here, there's kind of a gap. And that's because I shaved off a little bit of plastic, and now he can look up. And that really helps. It makes a big difference, especially in you know, like crouching poses when he's, you know, all like this. And then he's gonna destroy your world and breathe fire from his mouth and just... and there's a city gone. He has ball jointed hips and little posable side skirts out here, so that's good to accommodate. He's got an upper thigh swivel and really good knee articulation. Look at that. That's beautiful. And also these feet are on ball joints, so they go forward and back. Little bit of tilt, but not a whole lot. So you won't get too much out of that. Nothing too dramatic. And there is pretty much all of the posability. For these wings, you can keep them out like here, or you can like kind of make a cape-ish shape, I guess. But I like to fold them out there. Normally, this guy, you know what? I'm going to come back to that later. Hold on. Just rotate him around to the back. You can put these guns up on the back like this. You can point them up, or if you like, you can point them down. It really depends on preference. Let me just rotate the camera up a little bit here. It's pretty much just all preference. If you like, you know, having guns up on his shoulders, or if you like having, you know, kind of a booster effect, you can do what you want. But I personally like to have them up here because that's more accurate to the IDW comic, in which he had like these gold caps up on top of his purple boosters up there. And I think actually when he had his like super mode, these wings wrapped around the front, and then these became his arms, and like these gold caps had like giant fingers, and that was totally cool. But this is still, you know, good enough as it is. Scale wise, he would be like, this is how tall Optimus Prime would be compared to this guy. So like, I don't know, bigger than Unicron if you wanted to fit him with the Classics line. You know, like the toy Unicron. You know, like he'd be up there with Devastator. Just a huge figure, but for a selling point, you know, most kids pick up deluxe class toys, so I guess they just decided to put him into a deluxe class. But still, he is totally awesome. I really love this robot mode. If you want, you can take these guns off, and you can hold them in his hands. Who would have thunk? You know, you can have both of them in his hands, you know, like that. But you can also do a cool thing where he's got these two little slots underneath and two little fins on the back, and they're both interchangeable. You can combine them to make a super gun, and wow, for some reason it's not really doing it for me on camera. But normally, yeah, it would peg together perfectly straight. It's not doing it for me right now. I don't know why. And it's cool because you can have, you know, like, you can just have him holding it with one hand, or you can bring over his other hand, and you can have him hold it with two hands, just like that. Oops, come apart. But anyways, that looks totally bitchin'. Just, you know, like, two-handing it, you know, that's totally awesome. So, also, just get rid of these guns. For the G1 fans of his Matrix-hungry personality, what you can do is, here I have the die-cast Matrix from the Rodimus vs. Cyclonus 2-pack, and these little loops up here are so that if you choose, you can, like, hook a chain on there and make Galvatron wear it, or if you want to wear it, that's totally cool. But basically, since his hands are, his fingers are too close together for him to actually hold it in the Matrix, you can just, you know, like, hook his fingers into one of those smaller holes, and he can go into a whole bunch of, you know, Matrix-hungry poses, where he's just like, yes, I have it, finally, and it's mine, all mine. And if you want, you can, you know, you can kind of two-fist it, you can have the other one there, but it's a little difficult to do. You can actually store it in his chest, kind of. Like, if you bring this up and then, you know, put that in there with the hooks facing down, and you can close that back up. And the centerpiece doesn't fold back all the way, but, I mean, hey, it's still in there, ish. And then, you know, fun little thing.
Oh, I had a baby.
That's fun. But, anyways, I definitely recommend this figure. If you have read the Stormbringer series, then you're definitely going to like this guy. But if you are buying him just for the figure, I don't know. You know, he's still got that robot under the plane syndrome. But if you really want to find out who he is, I'd say read the Stormbringer comics. Because then they'll really fill you in on this character. I almost passed him up because I wasn't too familiar with him, but then I read the Stormbringer comics, and then I was like, holy crap, this guy is awesome. He's like the feared Chuck Norris of Transformers. You know, where it's like, Thunderwing is the only one who can punch you in the soul. Or, you know, all kinds of, you know, fun stuff like that. So, anyways, this has been the Transformers Generations Deluxe Class Thunderwing. And this is Camzilla51, signing out. You guys have a great day.